What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Papa Trades Daily. Dude, let's get straight into the video. I want to be talking today about four different things. We're going to be talking about the SPY, which we have been covering every day. We're going to be talking about ticker symbol WAL, which is Western Alliance. And we're going to be talking about PacWest Bancorp, LA. And we're going to be talking about one of my favorite, Tesla, TSLA. As small as I can go. So we are, SPY over here is doing the same action that it's been doing. Oh, quick thing actually, before we continue. Over here, you have this little little square grid. If you click on that one, it'll bring this out. And this allows you on the Webull software to be able to bring it down to 2 charts at one time, 4 charts at one time, or if you kick that drop down, it'll let you know, how many do you want to do. You can do up to 9 on one screen. Preferably 4 should be the max, unless you have a big monitor or a big screen. Otherwise, it can get too complicated, too small. You want to make sure that you can see. As a matter of fact, what you are seeing here right now, I actually have it on my MacBook. I actually never lay it out like this with 4. It becomes too crowded, and you want to be able to pay attention to small details and fit as much possible data into one screen. So mainly I'll go one at a time. If I am trading live, then I do want to have perhaps 2 of them on the screen so I can follow 2 different tickers that I might be interested in. So let's go ahead and switch over to the 1 chart. We're going to go straight into the SPY. Now the SPY is still doing what it has been doing, what I've been telling you from the beginning. We have our 410 support. I'll go ahead and move that guy out of the way. We have our 410 support, which is right here. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business days. So for a full week, all it's been doing is just been bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. 410, it goes up roughly to 413. Over here hit 414, and it gets smacked right down, comes right back down. It does, like I told you before, if it drops below 409, it can be a little dip, which happened 2 days ago. Then yesterday was that massive bull trap that I talked about into one of my short stories. If you're not getting my short stories, do make sure to go below, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notifications bell. That way, whenever I do upload shorts, you get notifications right away. I'm trying to share information with you as fast as I'm able to find things out. I did mention yesterday that I'd be talking about PACW, WAL, and the SPY. I hope you got a chance to follow them throughout the day. Sometimes I cannot upload things in the morning, unfortunately, because the internet is not the best. I am fixing that. I know I keep saying I will, but I am fixing that, and I should be going live pretty soon. Moving forward, we have over here what I wanted to show you is that we're still in that danger zone where it's plenty of risk. Now, you don't want to be trading too much within that region. Down here would have been a good example, actually, if you wanted to join in on this play. We're going down into the 5-minute chart. You did see a perfect bounce off of, or almost perfect, off of 410. It was 409.97. It came right up. You could have played that again and waited for it to hit down 410. You could have got some calls right here at 410. They would have been picked up automatically, and just ride that all the way up and sell around 412 perhaps in the options market. That could have been a 10 to 15% gain, and that would have been done within 30 minutes to perhaps an hour, I believe, more or less. So these are cool strategies that do work. Again, for example, we did talk about the RSI already. If it did go down, it's hitting 410. 410 is a support. You look at the RSI is bottoming out. Therefore, your risk is minimal right there, because what you want to do is say, okay, my risk is going to be, $1 to $2 below, because you're getting a call option, so you want the stock to go up. If it comes down, it's going to hit that support line right there, and the RSI is down, all that good stuff, and it's going to bounce up, right? So if it hits that 410, you go ahead and buy the call option right there. It moves up, you just ride it. Once you start seeing some turbulence, some back and forth, some barcoding, you want to go ahead and exit that position, because it could either just ruin your profit by doing theta and trading sideways, which I did talk in one of my past videos, and you don't want that. So you want to go straight line up. As soon as you see some choppiness, Try to get out if you can. Use one of your day trades if you have to. It's always good to lock in profits because that is what we are in here for. Anyways, moving forward now with the SPY, I would go ahead and wait to see. Again, I keep saying this, I will keep saying it. I would wait to see this either surpass perhaps this new support of 414. If it passes that, then you can play it all the way up to 417. If you did play it down to 410, I was saying what you want to do is you want to set up your risk right around $1 to $2 below. If it comes down, it hits 410, you want to enter that right there. It hits 410. Your risk would be, let's say, 409, 48. If it hits 409, 48, depending on the risk you want to take, then that's it. You take your losses. You're out of that play because it could keep tumbling down, and you don't want to get caught up in that situation. Now, if it does, then you would set up yourself. If it does bounce, then remember I did say before, make sure you write down your price target or your percentage target. Once you are up 10, 15, 20%, you go ahead and get out. And you could have done that right here. Bam, picks it up, moves up, you hit your 10, 15% profit, right out. Instantly, easy peasy, mac and cheesy. Let's see. Okay, so we move forward with the SPY. 414, you want to play to 417. If it does go below that 408, I would go ahead and play that down to 405, maybe even down all the way to 400, and that would be done by grabbing some puts. If you don't know about grabbing calls or grabbing puts, I will be making a video specifically just on that. That should be coming up pretty soon. So do make sure to hit that notification bell so you can get notified as soon as that comes out. Let's keep going. We did want to talk about PAC West. PAC West had an insane drop overnight. I wish I would have talked about this yesterday. I was following yesterday. I was thinking about grabbing some puts. I didn't. I would have cashed in this morning. It would have been a really nice morning. But anyways, you can see I had a 22% drop. What is happening with PAC West? What is PAC West? Let's go ahead and watch this video together.
Stocks, of course, again in focus, not in a good way, Joe. Becky, to your... Let's talk about what's happening right now. Regional bank stocks, of course, again in focus, not in a good way, Joe. Becky, to your point here. PAC West is down roughly 23% right now. I'm just checking volumes. About 4.8 million shares have traded so far in the extended session. And by the way, that's off the worst levels of the extended hours session. It was down roughly 29% earlier this morning. This is all on the heels of a regulatory filing where PAC West gave a quarterly update. Within the update, it noted that in the week ended May 5th, it saw customers withdraw around 9.5% of their deposits, adding that the bulk of those outflows in deposits came on May 4th and May 5th on the heels of reports that PAC West was exploring strategic options for some of its assets. Among the other details in that SEC 10Q quarterly update, it also said that it has pledged more assets as collateral to secure its ability to borrow more funds from the Federal Reserve Bank, saying the move was meant to increase their liquidity position for potential deposit outflows. Now, for context, PAC West says it currently has around $5.2 billion of uninsured deposits. So a $15 billion liquidity lifeline could more than cover that. As for the bank's operations and cash flow needs, PAC West says it has enough cash to meet its cash flow needs for the next 12 months. But the ripple effects are already being felt everywhere in regional banks, especially the Western U.S. ones. If you look at stocks like Western Alliance, as you're seeing there, Zion's Bank, Bank of Hawaii, Comerica, some of the ones that are more active in the pre-market right now, they're all taking bigger hits, but not to the extent, Joe, Becky, that PAC West is. But this is one of those situations where throughout the course of regular trading, we're going to be focused a lot more on updating all of our viewers and listeners on regional banks simply because of what's happening with PAC West now and the ripple effects. Joe, Becky, I'll send things back over to you.
Yeah, the Dow is kind of flat until this. I think it coincides with what that chart right there, that board right there that you're showing. We were all in a wait-and-see mode for the PPI at 8:30, and then this rears its ugly head again, which we thought it was kind of stabilizing, especially after the weekend. Even with PAC West, we thought it was kind of stabilizing, Dom.
Well, for PacWest and Western Alliance, for pretty much all of the regional lenders, it was. But it also goes to show you, Joe, Becky, and I think we're all in tune with this more because we work in the business. But when there is news out that updates a story incrementally, sometimes those updates can have a huge effect. In this case here, a story about PacWest looking to either find strategic options for itself as a whole or some of its assets that it has on its balance sheet, those reports can trigger a confidence move, right?
Yeah.
And that's in essence what PacWest is saying. They're saying that on May 4th and 5th, because of those reports, they saw people take their money out of the bank.
And Druckenmiller yesterday said,
Yeah, I would too.
at
Wouldn't
Zone,
you?
I don't know if it's yesterday, but we were reporting on it yesterday. He's saying, not expecting anything close to 08 and 09, but he said, don't just dismiss it entirely out of hand, that it couldn't get worse from here. We got all the, you go up 500 basis points. There's a lot of people with long-dated paper, and we don't know the full extent of that. It's still a worry, obviously, I guess, Tom.
And not just that. I mean, there are also folks out there. We're seeing reports right now that there are certain large financial firms, private equity intermediaries, that sort, that are trying to help maybe arrange deals, right,
Yeah.
between banks and some insurance companies. So a lot of vehicles and a lot of
Scary
variables in
stuff,
motion, guys.
There we have it. So PacWest looks like it's in trouble. Basically, what's happening is sort of like a small bank run, where they have, said, last quarterly report, a lot of people pulled their money out, which makes sense because what's happening is that people are pulling out their money out of the small banks and they're going straight to JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, where they know their money is 100% secure. And I mean, I would do the same. I wouldn't, take any risk in having, my money in a smaller bank with what's happening right now, with all the, now the question is, with this happening, with this 20% drop, the news start to spread around. People start to hear, hey, PacWest is in trouble. Hey, PacWest is going through hard times. Hey, PacWest, PacWest, PacWest. And if this keeps, passing around, these news keep reaching more and more and more customers of PacWest. Don't you think they might go to the bank and start withdrawing money and withdrawing and withdrawing and withdrawing and withdrawing? And if this continues to happen, that stock will continue to plummet on top of, short sellers going in heavy, pushing that stock down, so on and so forth. So that is why this is one of the ones that we're looking at. Now, it's not the one that I'm looking to go into right away. And why is that? Because it's already dropped 22%. When something drops that much, normally you're going to see a pop to the upside. If anything, I would actually try to do a small, quick turnaround type of buy where, try to get it at 450 and see if you can, ride it up to 10. Now, if it does come up to this area of $8.80 to $10, that's where I would love to enter a short position. Of course, depending on how terms and how things are looking at that point. But as of now, I wouldn't enter this stock yet. Moving forward to Western Alliance. Now, Western Alliance, I don't have a little fancy video for it because nothing dramatic has happened. I mean, it did go from 73 all the way down to 35, which is, losing around 50%. Did this happen back in the beginning of March? So it's already been around 2 months. Looks like it has found some floor. Try dropping again. And this could all be affected by PacWest situation. It affects, similar banks as we saw in that video. So what could happen here is what I'm looking out for is actually a further drop down to this 736. I do believe that it could be coming down to retest that. If we zoom out by the week, we'll see right here. Yeah, looks like we are right at resistance right here, being the low 2960. So I did say on my short, I'm looking to get into this position. If it does come up to 30, let's zoom in into the 5-minute chart. It keeps dropping, and that's actually moving a little bit up in the aftermarket. It's up 0.82%. But what I am looking out for, actually, it went up as high as 29.64 already earlier today. So this would have been a great time to enter a short position. If you zoom out again to the daily, zoom out. Let's go ahead and make a line for that. So you see the last time that it dropped, this was major support from a few years ago, from 2020, I believe. So we're gonna actually insert a try. We're gonna tap that pencil, hit the little drop down button on the side, hit horizontal line, and try to get it more or less right about there. Awesome. So that's gonna be the support, right? So now we go into the 5-minute. There we could see the line. It has actually surpassed it. Come down. You see how it has gotten rejected once, twice. This one really looked like it was gonna fly out. It comes back up and gets rejected. Now, I don't know if we might be late into this play. I would love to see a pop up in the morning up to that region again. Enter a short position around here, get some puts going, and hopefully write that all the way down to below 20s. That would be phenomenal. Now, what I am looking at to get, if we zoom out again, I would like to get some puts with a strike price of $20 is probably what I'm going to be getting. Strike price of $20, and I'll give myself around 8 to 10 weeks just to play it safe. And we're just going to write those until that target price is hit, or perhaps, you know, it keeps dropping down to the 10s, low 7s, or even goes bankrupt. I mean, that would be a phenomenal play. So I will keep you posted on my shorts if I do go ahead and go on that play. So do make sure again to hit the notifications bell so that you can know it's like, oh, you know, Papa Trades Daily did go into a short position. You know, I'll notify everybody and be like, you know, let's do it, let's make it happen, so on and so forth. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I cannot specify that enough. This is merely for entertainment and for fun. I mean, it's fun, guys. It's fun to trade. It's adrenaline. It's rush. It's, you know, if you're a little, you know, a little bit of an adrenaline junkie like me, you know, the stock market just really hits in the heart. But let's move forward back to seriousness. Let's be serious. Isn't it crazy how Wall Street and, you know, banking and all that? I mean, me myself, I used to work back in Chase, and the banking industry just seems so serious, like stocks and bonds and all that. And now you have, you know, the retail trading industry, and we're all just, you know, a bunch of people, you know, in shirts and just trying to, you know, trade online and share this with each other and fighting. And there's a reason why Jamie Dimon, CEO of Chase, is trying to get the SEC to ban shorting banking stocks, which is insane. I don't think it's going to go through. I mean, why would, you know, you not be allowed to short banks when banks are allowed to short everything else? It doesn't really make sense, right? But anyway, I read this earlier. I just thought it was cool to share. You know, our, you know, PACW and WAL really the next meme stocks. The Wall Street Journal wrote a article about it. Let me see when this is from. Oh, it's actually from 6 days ago. So it's happening. I mean, it's happening. Now, be careful with these stocks, because these stocks can move insanely to the upside and can move insanely to the downside. So make sure you have your risk targets. Make sure you're listening to your plan. You're sticking to it. Really important. You don't want to get caught up losing a ton of money simply because you didn't listen to yourself. So that's silly. Don't be a silly chicken like that. Nobody got time for silly chickens. Okay, let's see. And the fourth one I wanted to talk to you about. Good old Tesla. Oh. I knew someone who worked there. Okay, let's see. We are 172 today. Now, why do I want to talk about it? It looks like a normal chart, just the way Tesla always has. Do keep in mind, if you don't know, now you will know. Tesla can move once it gets moving. You get yourself a good position on Tesla, whether it's moving to the upside, whether it's moving to the downside, you are going to get that money printer going, because that will cash you in. Believe me. So I am looking for it. I mean, I guess, of course, it can always work against you. Now, why am I so interested in Tesla? Let's make it look better because that looks ugly. There we go. Now, first thing, RSI. Bam. Already bottomed out recently on the daily chart. Bam. Looks like it's going to the uptrend, to the upside. Bam. Bam. Right? Downside. MACD over here. Bam. Bam. Just started going green. Ding, 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 ding. Let's look and we zoom in. What is happening here? Bam, 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 bam. Show you right now. Nobody got time for Gary Gensler. In case you don't know, Gary Gensler is the main guy at the SEC. Something good to know. He is 33rd chair. Didn't even know there was a 32 previous to him, but now we know. Anyway, let's go straight into the man himself, Elon. Elon Musk tweeted something a few hours ago. 1 hour ago. Excited to announce that I've hired a new CEO for X Twitter. She will be starting in 6 weeks. My role will transition to being executive chair and CTO, overseeing product, software, and system operations. So what does this mean? It doesn't say anything about Tesla there. We all know who the main man at Tesla is, and we all know where the main man has been at recently. He's been at Twitter nonstop. He has been building Twitter up. He has been fixing Twitter, sharing with Twitter, fighting with the world, and showing up on all these shows, because he is the guy of conversation now because of Twitter, which is phenomenal. I really applaud that, he's fighting for the freedom to keep Twitter, open to both sides, equally balanced, both to Republicans, both to Democrats, both to the whole people, and to the whole world pretty much. So what does this mean? With him stepping down from CEO, and means that he will have a ton more time to discuss and work out Tesla. On top of that, we have the Cybertruck coming out pretty soon. So with him coming back to Tesla, or having more time for Tesla, of course he still's got SpaceX, he's got the Boring Company, and he's got a million things to do, right? But he will have more time now for Tesla if he has a CEO running Twitter. So that is really good news for Tesla. So right around where he tweeted that, you saw a big boost. Bam. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down to 170 in the morning. I mean, it could just potentially take off, but it does look like a double top right there. As you can see, 174. It topped off right there. What I would love to see is for it to come down. You see what used to be here, resistance at 170. It kept hitting 170, down, 170, down, 170, down, 170, down, 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 so on and so forth. So right here, it bounced off of 169 and it flew up. It would be amazing to see it come down to around 171, 172, this region right here. And that's where you want to grab some calls. Calls because you're betting that the price is going to move up. If it does move up, if we can surpass this, what is it? What's the marking right here? Looks like the high is 174. If you can load up on some calls and it surpasses 174, the next thing you're going to be looking at is 178 to 180. If it surpasses that, we could be going all the way to 190. If anything, we can go all the way up to the 200s. For sure, 200 would be a hard number to pass simply because it's a psychological factor, because a lot of people will put their short-term trades to sell at 200. So this is an excellent play to go into. I will definitely be looking at this tomorrow morning in the pre-market. Really excited to see how it's going to behave. Keep in mind to follow the NASDAQ when you are trading things like the Tesla, Apple, or anything else. I will make another video talking about the NASDAQ as well. I did talk about it in one of my past videos briefly. The NASDAQ focuses on all digital stocks. I'll show you really quick the exact definition to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is the stock market. It is an American stock exchange based in New York City. It is the most active stock trading venue in the U.S. by volume and ranks second on the list of stock exchanges by market capitalization of shares traded, behind the New York Stock Exchange. So what is this? Pretty much everything that is a digital company or surrounds itself around technology is going to be composed in the NASDAQ. So you want to follow the NASDAQ, make sure that the tech sector is doing good, everything's all right. And if Tesla's got the nice setup, it comes out to that 172. Everything that we talked about goes aligned with it. You get in those calls, you will bank in. Not financial advice. I'm just telling you because I want to have fun. You want to have fun. We all want to have fun, right? And if you can, build your pockets while you have fun, not a bad deal, I'm telling you. Not a bad deal. All right. So, well, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, guys, for today. That's all I have. If you haven't already, please hit the like button below. Hit the subscribe button. It helps a ton. Hit that notifications button. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Deuce!